We will get started here. Hey, we started here. It looks like that both runners are starting at a magnet first, so no surprises there. Sorry, I have no commentating. I think there's a video, an audio thing. Oh, we're also up there. Okay, cool. Both runners actually relatively close in time here. I think we may have an issue with Mushroom Boy's timer. But very smooth movement there. That room with the magnets, very difficult. I've put a lot of practice into it, and it's not easy to deal with. We've got the Yoku blocks coming up next. This is where top saves a significant amount of time over the magnet first start. Looks like Mushroom Boy gonna be making it up the ladder a little bit quicker. Taking the damage boost through that. I don't know what that guy's called. I call him a sprinkler? I don't know. Mushroom Boy's health a little bit low for this. He might have to wind up taking a pause depending on what pattern magnet gives him. RoboRidley looking a little bit healthier. Mushroom Boy out of damage boosts at this point. Oh, Robo takes a dive. And Mushroom Boy finishes up the stage in approximately the middle of the screen, which is where you want to wind up. So when you kill a boss, it doesn't start the next section of the animation until all of the little bubbles are off the screen. So you want to kill the boss as close to the middle of the screen as you can, and you also want to be in the middle of the screen because once you kill the boss, Mega will walk to the center of the screen. And if you're not over there, then the walking is slow. So we are going to switch over into Magnet Man and deal with everyone's favorite enemies, the bees. Mushroom Boy not having any problems with that run. And there's the jump out that I can never personally make. So you take that damage boost and then you slide immediately after you come out of the animation frames. That allows you to jump at the end of that ledge, but I'm always slow, so I can never actually jump on that. Mushroom not being harassed by any monkeys, which is nice. And the Dozer is everyone's actual least favorite enemy. Also pretty clean. The hitboxes on the Dozers are very strange. So if you're too low, the bullets will bounce off. It's called a tink. And if you're too high, the bullets will also bounce off. So there's a fairly narrow window for when you can actually damage the enemy. Mushroom Boy fighting Magnet Man here. Not quite the quick kill there, but pretty clean nonetheless. And Robo following up quickly after. Also misses that one shot, but finishes it up without any issues. I have to say, if it weren't for the monkeys, Hardman would probably be my favorite stage, but it is not. Because monkeys. We are moving right along to Top Man. So those are deliberate damage boosts at the beginning of that level. Ideally, you only want to get hit once, but that's actually fairly difficult to do. Most people wind up taking that second hit. And that first hit just allows you to kind of move through the enemies. Mushroom Boy dealing with the first of the cats. The cats are why Top Man stage is significantly, well, one of the reasons Top Man is more difficult to start with, because in order to kill the cats, you have to shoot them with either 5 magnets or 10 regular bullets. So if you don't have magnet, you have to be pretty good at mashing the buttons quickly. Otherwise, you have to stay in that room for a little while and dodge cat balls. Mushroom, on the most dangerous part of the stage, decides to take a little pause to make sure that he makes that jump. That's a thing that I did not do and died 4 times in my races. So, good thinking there. Robo opting not to take the pause and makes it without any issues. Robo looks like getting a 3 cycle, which is not exactly what you want to see on this fight, but finishes up in the middle of the room, so it's probably fine. And Mushroom starting on Shadow Man. The Dark Room in Shadow Man kind of hits my top, 3 for favorite rooms. I really like the Gemini stages. They're fairly difficult and kind of complex, but Dark Room has a whole bunch of interesting dynamics to it. A lot of fun to learn. Ideally, you don't want to take a pause there for that little walker guy, but it can be difficult to find an arrangement where you don't pause and also don't, hit it. And this stage in particular, you want to be careful with your health to a certain degree, because you kind of have to throw yourself bodily into Shadow Man as you're fighting him, and if you're low on health, that can get very dangerous very quickly. Parachutes much easier in Magnet stage. You get to use those magnets to take care of the parachutes and don't have to wiggle around them or do that weird top spin, bounce back jump, dancing thing. Oh! Last jump, Robo drops on. Very easy to do, very straightforward. I have myself done it many times. The danger here is he's going to be a little bit low on magnet going forward, so he might have to picking up some very convenient drops. That is very helpful, actually. And it looks like he is likely not going to have any struggles with Shadow Man. It's an unpredictable fight, but it's generally fairly straightforward. And Mushroom starting on Gemini. This is very fun to learn the pattern to. It's fairly complex. There's a lot going on. You kind of have to shoot things before they show up on the screen if you want to go fast. So it's kind of a memory test in addition to an execution thing. Mushroom getting the skip, what that does is it will kill his background music, and that will save some time on lag, which is particularly important with the single block room. That room in particular has a lot going on, and it's very easy to die, and those lost frames due to the music can very easily be the death of you. Personal aside, I absolutely hate these rooms with the little eggs. Just not fun. Those little rock monster things, those were supposed to be penguins, but when the music's off, they turn into those weird rock things. RoboRidley also getting the music cancel, so that will be helpful in the room that Mushroom Boy is currently on. Mushroom opting not to take the single block slides, which are technically faster and also much more likely to end you. Takes a quick damage boost there. That's a safety thing. If you don't take that hit, odds are decent you're going to jump and one of those dragonflies are going to hit you and knock you into the water. So good watching out there. And RoboRidley taking pauses to get hit by the small penguins, which is very helpful. The big penguins do 8 damage, and the small penguins do 4, so preserving his health a little bit. Also means that, falls into the water. Means he didn't grab that health, which can be helpful. And that's a continue, unfortunate. Gemini fight from Mushroom Boy looked a little unconventional, but got through it clean. I might have to watch that back and see how he did it to see if there's anything I can steal. And Mushroom continuing on to Needleman. Fairly short stage. That's another fun one to learn. Not quite as fun as the Dark Room or some of the Gemini stages, but that Needle Room has a little bit of a dynamics to it. Can be enjoyable. RoboRidley struggling with the egg stage. That is why I hate these stages, because they are... yeah, if you get that jump wrong and you get down at the bottom and you have to jump up and there are things to dodge, it becomes a nightmare very quickly. Mushroom Boy typing in chat. The stream is a little bit ahead of where you are at. Oh, and that's what he's talking about right there. That laser just pinging around the place. There's not much you can do there. You can't pause when there's a bullet on the screen, and you can't shoot again because you can only have one Gemini laser on the screen at a time. So you kind of just sit there and wait. But it turns out okay for him. He doesn't die in the interim, so he will be moving right along. And RoboRidley getting ready to take care of Gemini Man. Health is a little spicy, but it looks like he's going to take it safe, so should not have much of an issue. Knows how to manipulate Gemini Man so that there aren't any issues. So Gemini Man jumps every time, on that second phase rather, jumps every time you shoot. So you can either make him jump and then slide, or you can make him not jump and then jump over him. Mushroom Boy continuing on through Snake Man stage. This is another one of my favorites. That very first level is just, it's just fun to learn, to go through. Because you're just kind of like hopping and bopping and shooting things, and it's a good time. The pogos, however, are much less fun to learn. So basically, if you go full speed through that room, you will hit every one of those pogo people. And it is very uncomfortable. You need to pause just a little bit as you're sliding, and then everything's fine. But how much is a little bit? If you wait too long, then you wind up sliding into the pole as it comes back down. So it can be a little tight. He's making it through without any issues, though, so he'll be continuing on. I'm going to use the rush jet here to avoid single block slides in this room. You do use rush jet regardless in the speedruns up until this point, and this is where you would cancel it if you were trying to go very, very fast and risking death, which luckily Mushroom Boy is not. RoboRidley making it into Needle stage, just as Mushroom starts Snake. Ideally, Needle will be a quicker fight, generally speaking, as it is, and Mushroom finishing up shortly thereafter. So Needleman fight is very interesting because if you do it, if you get a pattern that you're good at and you do well, it looks very simple. You just like boop 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 and he's done. If it goes badly, then you get one of those. I hear noodle every time somebody says it. They're not noodle lasers, although it does remind me of Penne. They are Adyo lasers? I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry, I'm still new to the community. I have not learned all these things. But those lasers bouncing around the room are meme-worthy. And you get those if you get a pattern for Needle that you don't like or aren't familiar with. Mushroom making it through magnets takes a little bit of a pause on those elevators to make sure he makes good through it. Smart play. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about, those little pauses. If you take too long of a pause, you run into those pogos. If you take too short of a pause, you run face first into them, so it can be a little bit tight sometimes. Mushroom clearing the random drop of nothingness, going through the junk room. And we'll have one more set of elevators to get through before he makes it to Spark. Oh, let me switch the audio real quick. There you go. Mushroom just barely not making it to that podium. That's where you want to finish the fight there to avoid that jump. Getting pretty close though. And Robo is on to Snake. Snake giving him a little bit of trouble, but finishes that off pretty clean. And Mushroom will be starting on the Dockman stages. The somewhat unfortunate thing about Mega Man 3 is that the difficulty escalates pretty hard. So the 8 Robos are difficult, and then the Dock stages are just another level. And as you can see, Mushroom having a little bit of trouble with this Dock Gemini stage. This is very similar to the first... Oh, falls into the pit there. This is very similar to the first Gemini stage, where there's a lot of memorization, there's a lot of kind of knowing where things are going to show up before they're on the screen, and some fairly precise and rapid inputs. So stage that messes up a lot of runs a lot of the time. I know I have trouble with it all of the time. But again, it's a lot of fun to learn because there's just a lot going on. RoboRidley making it to the drop without any issues, and Mushroom Boy, once again, I hate these tadpole things. Like, none of these rooms are fun. It's very sad. Opting to take the bottom route there. Sorry, I left those. I'm not familiar with an aggressive short slide. Is that just he's trying to clip that 8-frame window so that he gets them quicker? I think that's what you're referring to. So when you slide, there's 8 frames where you can't jump. And then after those 8 frames, you can start another slide. But if you tag the short end of that and hit the jump button on frame 7, for example, you don't jump. Wait. Now I've confused myself. Oh, right, it pits. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That's a spicy thing to do for sure. So yeah, if you slide in near one of those pits, if you're in that 8-frame window, you can't jump out of it, so you can fall pretty easily. That's what I was trying to get at. Yep. Bubble Man here, not a terribly damage-heavy fight. His body and his bubbles do 4 damage, his bullets do 2 damage. Which can be dangerous because the stage before it has a lot of damage into it, so it's pretty normal to go into that room with fairly low health. But no issues for Mushroom Boy in that regard, and he will continue on to Doc Shadow. I did not see if... Okay, yeah, he did get the music cancel. So much like with Gemini stage, you can turn the music off here in Doc Shadow stage, and doing so saves you 2 or 3 seconds just from lag. This is another fairly difficult room to learn. RoboRidley clearing off Doc Flash without any issues there. These platforms are spicy. With practice, they're not too bad. You do have a little bit of time to stand on them. You don't have to jump like immediately. But if you goof, there's not a lot of places to go on those platforms. RoboRidley doing the damage boost through the Gemini stages, which is a cool kind of strat I enjoy. I don't do it because I die. Mushroom finishing off Woodman is going to have an encounter with some parachutes here after the Hammer Joes. Sorry, technical shenanigans. Anyway, Mushroom Boy getting started on Doc Needle. This stage can be a little bit difficult. You've got Airman in the middle, which can do a lot of damage, and then you've got the big Mets at the end of that, which also do a bunch of damage if you run your face into them, so don't run your face into them. RoboRidley going into Woodman a little bit low on health. He should be okay. Usually you take 2 hits from the leaf shield there, which can do a bunch of damage, but he tries to jump over it. That's a very difficult thing to do. Both players killing their respective bosses at about the same time, which personally I enjoy. Mushroom Boy killing those 2 parachutes to reduce lag, and then jumping up to the top of the screen. This jumping thing that he's doing, when you're not standing on Jet, it does not take energy. And when Mega is not on the screen, it reduces lag. So this is kind of doing double duty here. He is preserving his jet ammo and also reducing lag so that he goes faster. He does not want to pick this thing up. He does not. Good job. That just wastes time as it refills. And gonna go into the big Met room. Takes care of that, no problem. I run my face into those all the time. It uses that extra snake to kill that Met, which reduces lag a little bit, but that other one behind him sticks around. And he will be on to the second. Robo starting Needle now. And Mushroom will be moving on into Crashman. Crashman can be relatively simple unless he gets away from you, so the fun thing about him is that he jumps every time you hit the attack button, so you can actually manipulate him in various ways. Mushroom Boy doing a pretty good job of knowing about exactly where the boss is going to be, so he doesn't have to waste any time chasing him down. Moving on to his final Doc Spark. And RoboRidley moving into Airman as we get there. Airman does this, he's got 3 patterns to start off with. The one you want to see is the one that has 2 on the kind of lower bottom. You can actually slide under those 2 and then do a bunch of damage. Didn't get that, unfortunately, but takes care of it with no issues. Mushroom Boy using the Shuriken on that stage, which is interesting to me. It takes a little bit more to kill these guys. Personally, I use Gemini, which takes 2 lasers, which can be pretty quick, but the Shuriken is a very flexible and useful weapon. So he will be moving on to, I think, is it Metal Man or is it Cut Man? It's Metal Man. Yeah. And then he'll have this drop here. You're gonna see him do some wiggling here in this. Oh, Robo takes a death to the Big Mets. They do a ton of damage. Mushroom just taking damage boosts. It looks like you can despawn those laser jump ropes. Opts not to, just charging right through here. Health isn't too bad given that, so call it a considered choice. I think that will be okay. Opts to use an E-Tank early, which is a very good idea on Quickman. Quickman's body does 8 damage, his boomerangs do 2 damage, so if you are running into his body, which he jumps around a lot, this fight can end very quickly. If you jump into boomerangs, this fight can end very slowly. So stays healthy through that fight, no issues there. And he will be moving on to Wily stages. RoboRidley taken on Big Met number 2. Does take a hit there, but continues on with no other issues. And will be on to Crashman. Here we see that Mushroom Boy is on the English version. The Japanese version is a little bit faster just because the text is more compact in the Japanese language. So with most game versions, the Japanese version is often quicker. Robo struggling a little bit with prediction on Crashman, but gets through it as Mushroom Boy starts Wily 1. Opts to grab the E-Tank, a pretty decent choice for a run like this. I personally always grab it, but that's because I'm bad. I think he's probably taking it as a strategic decision. And Robo's starting Doc Spark himself, using Gemini to take care of those Spark robots. Mushroom Boy just hopping up and over these Hammer Joes. Not an unreasonable decision. It is going to be a little bit laggier, because Rush Jet often is. And when you don't kill those Hammer Joes, it adds more sprites to the screen. So a little bit on the slow side, but also very safe. Difficult thing about, I'm going to call him Metal Man. I don't know if that's actually true. Difficult thing about him is because of the way he jumps up and down, it's actually hard to space your shots. If you shoot too early, it will, and you see RoboRidley doing that little wiggle, that despawns the jump ropes there. But with Metal Man, the jumping can mean that your magnet tracks too early and hits him while he's still in iframes, or it can kind of just like hang out for a little bit and he won't get hit for a while. So it's hard to decide like when's the best spacing to do that damage to for the most efficient. Robo starting Doc Quick as oh, Mushroom takes an unfortunate death. Those bees can be fairly difficult to handle. Takes a body hit. Don't do it. Oh, E-Tank's just in time. The difficult part of that, like I said, when you have a bullet on the screen, you can't pause. So if you miss one of your snake shots, you're kind of just in the room with Quickman jumping around and you got nothing to do. So he will start Breakman as Mushroom Boy takes it a little bit slower this time around through this room, and he will be headed towards Yellow Double. And it looks like he is setting up for the quick kill. We'll see if he gets the one cycle here. It can be pretty difficult, depending on the setup you use. Oh, that's interesting. I think he was backwards when he did the setup there, but he got about a half a health bar, which is what you want to look for. So it looks like he's going to set up for another round of the damage boosts. I don't know if you need to do that, but no. Let's hope he gets it. There he goes. Okay. 2 cycle, not too bad. As you see Robo taking the damage boost through those spikes there. And then facing the real boss enemy, Ladders. RoboRidley also opting to rush jet through this room. as Mushroom Boy coils through this room, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but again, I'm pretty new to this whole shenanigans. This room, very laggy. There is a way for you to despawn the first, like, dark machine, but it's pretty precise. You have to know exactly when to turn around in order for it to actually be quick. As Robo gets to the turtles, turtles being a little slow for him here, so anytime that the machine goes to the right, it's going to release a turtle quickly, and anytime it goes to the left, it is going to release a turtle slowly. As Mushroom Boy looks like he's going to get the quick kill, there he goes. Rush Coil and Rush Jet are the only weapons you can pause while they're on the screen. So if you shoot a bullet with Rush Coil or Rush Jet and then switch to a different weapon, the bullet takes on the attributes of the weapon you have switched to. So for that quick kill, what happens is you shoot the bullets, you switch to the weakness, which is top, and then it basically does a bunch of damage while the pause is happening, and it just dies immediately. Mushroom Boy not getting the 2-frame jumps, that's not surprising. They are very difficult, and he will start on a Robos. Running after the health here, probably a good call. I always pick that one up because, again, I'm bad. But it looked like he needed it in that particular circumstance. So, moving right along. It looks like Robo using a little bit of a different setup to try to get the quick kill does not get it, so probably on par. He might get a 3-cycle here. Ooh, Mushroom Boy. You sure you didn't want that help? Okay, E-tanking, that's fine. That works too. May actually be faster. Not sure. It was pretty far into the room. Robo finishing up the 3-cycle as Mushroom passes the halfway point, moving into Gemini. This one, ooh, that laser, that doesn't feel good. This one is a little bit dangerous for people who are going very, very fast. If you kill both docks while one of them is in the air, it will soft block, and you cannot win the game anymore. But nothing to worry about this particular moment, as he finishes out Needle, reading the patterns quite well there. So no more bouncing around for us, as he will finish up his last 2. Robo's struggling a little bit with these platforms. It's very easy to get off the pattern, and once you're off the pattern, it's kind of a mess. You kind of just have to jump around and guess where you're supposed to be, but he gets the quick kill there. As Mushroom Boy makes it over to the quote-unquote final boss. Sorry, spoilers, I know. Shooting out a couple of snakes to increase the lag so that he can mash his way to victory through that robot. Robo coming up on the refights here as well. Looking a little bit low on health, but nothing too bad. Pretty normal for this, given the damage boosts for the junk golems. And kills him with the health right on top of him, so doesn't have to go chase him after it. And Mushroom Boy quite close to finishing this out here. And that will be a finish for him. So GG's in chat there. And it looks like that was a PB as well. RoboRidley getting a freeze there, so if you end the fight with the hard knuckle inside a boss, it pauses you until the boss animation is done, which is quite slow there. Ooh, that was a bold laser. It worked out for him, so good deal. Very nice. That one was a little bit close. That was a quencher. And he will finish up with his last two. Trying to predict a second jump there. Sparkman has 4 different... He can jump between 1 and 4 times. So a pretty good call. Odds are good that he's going to jump more than once, but did not do it that time, so that particular shuriken kind of just flew out and came back. As they do. Robo setting up for Wily Machine. We'll see the setup here. Oh, yep, he gets it. And Robo just finishing up Gamma here. And there we go. Go ahead and get GG's in chat for RoboRidley. That was a solid first race. I am excited. So racers are going to take a little bit of a break, and we are going to we're just going to hang out for a minute and let them, and when they are ready, they will let us know for our second game. So I could be wrong, but I believe that's actually more than a minute off of Mushroom Boy's PB. So GG's to him. Oh, okay. That's a 14-second PB. Way to steal that thunder. You and your, like, being good at video games or whatever. And it looks like we will be kicking off pretty quick here again. Racers are ready. Ish. Maybe. Alright, and we are headed back into the race. Alright, Mushroom Boy finishing up Proto Man just a little bit ahead. Looks like Mushroom Boy tried to take the quick damage boost there. You can do a back boost to get onto that ledge, which saves you a little bit of time. Didn't quite make it, but the damage is still faster than mustering down those two walker guys. And we have the Yoku Block Room, also known as the... Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Okay. Mushroom gets through, and RoboRidley very shortly behind. We've got a one-screen race so far. Oh! Mushroom taking an unfortunate damage, putting them neck and neck into the first boss room. Mushroom Boy very dangerously low on health. It looks like Robo must have taken some extra damage because Mushroom finishes that up and Robo takes a death. That's unfortunate. Does the second fight quite cleanly though. So we'll be just a little bit behind as Mushroom starts Heartman stage. That is true. A death on a boss fight is not too terribly bad because you spawn back right at the beginning and it's not a huge time loss. Any death is a time loss, but the bosses in general are not the worst deaths to take. Mushroom Boy summoning Rush Coil on that little ledge there. I have been told that this saves time. I don't understand why or how, but this is what I've been told, so if someone would let me know, I would love to know why that works. Not having too much of a problem with the dozers there. They can be quite problematic at times, along with the monkeys, which Robo gets through just fine. Mushroom a little bit low on health going into Proto. I'm wondering if he is going to take the safety health that is immediately after Proto so that he can try the fast kill on... Yep, he sure does. Grabs that for safety, I imagine, and we'll move on into Heartman. Does get, so when you take 2 hits from Hardman when he jumps up like that, you interrupt his freeze animation, which means you can finish shooting him to death while you're supposed to be paused, which Mushroom did there. And looks like Robo got that unpause as well, so they are still pretty close. Mushroom starting up top man as Robo ends hard man. And that room is just a nightmare. In order to actually do it well and quickly, you have to have extremely precise input. So taking those couple of damage boosts and just getting through the room however you can is often the way that newer runners like myself will do it. It is a really cool room to watch for people who are very good, though. It's just really interesting to see. Mushroom going into the first cat. Has a little bit of a bobble on that first ball, but doesn't slow him down much. Robo going through that almost dangerously quickly there. Opts to damage boost instead of taking him out, so he will have a little bit more magnet for mashing. Robo opts to grab the health in this one block evil room place thing. And actually, that's very difficult to do, to get through those tops without taking damage. Mushroom quick on the kill there. So not giving Robo a lot of space to make up time, but it looks like they are hanging together pretty quick. It looks like Robo's going to get the quick kill as well, so both racers here just neck and neck. Mushroom starting Shadow Man stage. Takes a little bit of hit on that jumper, which, I mean, it happens. And damage boosts through that robot. A little bit spicy to be taking damage early in this stage. There's a lot of stuff that can do a lot of damage to you in this stage. So we'll see how this goes. Does not take a hit from the walkers, though. Maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, I think we have a graphical issue with Mushroom's timer. I don't know what's going on, but it's just not displaying. Robo taking a bit of a pause there to make sure he was lined up correctly, which is not a bad thing to do, and it looks like it gets him through those platforms faster than it would have otherwise. I think overall he saved time with that decision. So he's going to be just a little bit behind Mushroom. I think overall Mushroom did that stage a little bit faster, but it very close. And Mushroom will start Gemini here. Takes a hit there. That's a very difficult flame to avoid. In order to do that, you have to slide directly under that ledge and then do a neutral jump, which is very hard to do when you're sliding. And then immediately hit right so that you jump over the flame. It's a whole thing. Robo looks like he is doing that a little bit quicker thus far. Takes a hit, so maybe not so much anymore. There is just so little space between these runners that it's hard to tell. Mushroom gets the music cancel, so you'll be watching him mash through tadpoles in silence. Robo similarly gets that taken care of without too many issues. Neither runner has gotten the zip in this stage so far. That may be something they're not attempting right now. It's a little bit difficult sometimes. But Robo getting through that room quite easily, and hopefully he does not have... Yep, doesn't have any trouble on this one this time, so much smoother. Still taking those pauses for the extra health. Not a bad decision, but given that the race is so close, that's time. Oh, and Mushroom, that one block slides, Robo? Really? Like, is that what we're doing? Whew, okay. That 2-block slide there is actually a lot more difficult than it seems. Lag tends to spike right around that time, so it's very easy to miss your input or have it eaten for your jump there. So, not an unusual place to die. Mushroom falls on the jump there, decides to take this room a little bit slower second time around to make sure he gets through it safely, which I think is a wise decision. It's a very difficult room in general, as Robo, a little bit of an awkward fight on Gemini. Oh, yes, in that second Gemini room, the music being present does change the lag, so that's why he was taking it safer, because with that extra music and that extra lag, it's much more likely that a jump will end badly. And Mushroom mashing down that first phase of Gemini as Robo starts Needle. Ooh, a little bit of awkwardness there. Switching to Magnet a little early to take care of those porcupines. That slide under is a little bit interesting to me. I don't know if it's faster, but it does seem like it would be safer. Because if you're not fairly precise in your movements, those triple shots can get you a lot of times. Mushroom Boy bustering down these guys. Oh, and Robo takes a death. That's an unusual place. Won't cost him an incredible amount of time, but it means once again our runners are on the same screen. But not for long though. These Joes, a little bit difficult to deal with sometimes. It looks like Mushroom is just opting to damage boost straight through them. It's very easy to take a double damage boost from those jumpers. I don't know why, but it's a thing that happens. And both runners now in... Oh! Needle. And Robo gets a lucky bounce. Mushroom gets an unlucky bounce. And another bounce. Ooh. So still, I would say maybe 15 seconds apart. I'm just guessing there, I have no idea. But just ridiculously close through this entire 8 robos. Robo opting to do a backwards damage boost on that snake. Not a bad decision. It can be difficult to avoid that bullet. And that backwards boost still gives you some forward movement, so you're not wasting too much time there. And back into the pogo rooms go RoboRidley. Mushroom Boy avoiding those 2 shots. So one thing you can do is when there is Rush Jet or Rush Coil on the screen and you are sliding, if you hit start, so if you try to pause while you're sliding like that, the game can't actually pause you, but what it does is it will cancel the Rush Jet or the Rush Coil. Interesting route from Mushroom Boy through this second stage here. I mean, the Hammer Joe room. So it's so close. This is so close. So you'll notice that the runners will take smaller jumps when they are approaching those lower down ones. So when you are jumping like that, the game actually thinks Mega Man is at the bottom of the screen. It wraps him around. Robo finishing up Snake again right as Mushroom Boy starts. But when you're on Rush Jet and you do those jumps, the game thinks Mega Man is at the bottom of the screen. And so you can get hit on things that are at the bottom of the screen, and you can pick up things, and it can spawn stuff. So if you do little hops there, it does not spawn those platforms, which saves time because it does not lag. Robo getting into Sparkman. For some reason, Sparkman is always the stage where I fall into a surprise pit for no reason. Like, I fall into pits on various levels for various reasons, but I always feel like with Sparkman, there's just no reason to fall into a pit. Like, it doesn't seem... Oh, so Treewalker 312. So RoboRidley is playing Rockman. It looks like Mushroom Boy is playing the US version. RoboRidley getting ready to get through the drop as Mushroom Boy. It is Rockman versus Mega Man. He is going to try to get magnets through to those that dozer. Again, that hitbox is very, very small, so not surprising when those magnets don't hit correctly. RoboRidley just passing the area where I always mess up. There's a elevator there. You do not slide on the elevator. You never slide on the elevator, and yet I am compelled to slide on that elevator. It is very important to me that I slide on that elevator, which means that I die every time I do it, but it happens. Oh! I don't think that's what Mushroom Boy did it? Is it? Did I just curse Mushroom Boy? Like, I know that's a thing, but that wasn't me, was it? Now I feel that. Oh, it looks like it was a jump. Was it a jump? I think it was a jump. Anyway, Robo starting the dock stages as Mushroom Boy cleans up Sparkman. Sparkman, not the most difficult boss in the world. It's just a boss to optimize, really, more than survive. As Robo makes his way through Dock Gemini. That little walking guy can be extremely difficult, so if he survives, he draws fire from the other guys which you're actually trying to kill, and that means they put fire on places and it becomes a whole problem. So, making it through despite all that shenanigans. And he will be on to the tadpoles. It can be very difficult here if you get on the wrong, line of those. There is a thing you can do in that previous room with the tadpoles. So anytime you slide through a... looks like Robo tried to get up top, but did not quite make it. That's not unusual. It's a pretty difficult pattern to get. But anytime you slide through a long gap like that, what it does is at the very end, it pushes you backwards. So if you have some quick reflexes, what you can do is you can actually wiggle your controller a little bit back and forth, and then what that does is it just zips you forward a little bit because it throws you backwards, and if you're facing to the left, then it throws you right. It's a pretty... I think it actually... Is it a one-frame trick? It's pretty close, anyways. It doesn't actually matter that much, but it's a thing you can do. Mushroom Boy starting Flash as Robo makes it through the... I don't know what you call that room. Stoplights. I have no idea. I like stoplights. And we'll move on into Bubbleman. Health is a little bit low, but Bubbleman is a boss you can kind of get away with that sometimes, so we will see how this fight goes. Mushroom Boy opting... Ooh! Takes a hit there, that's awkward. RoboRidley taking the boss out without too much trouble. Mushroom Boy coming up top to kill these little droppers. I don't know which version of that actually saves more lag, killing the fish or killing the droppers. It looks like Robo gets the sound kill. In Dock Shadow stage, and will be moving on through Dark Room here with platforms and the shenanigans. Looks like Mushroom will probably not have too much difficulty with this fight, as Robo makes it through the platform successfully. That can be a little bit dicey sometimes. And he will be moving on to Woodman. Now, in this Woodman stage, you can actually take damage from the leaves that fall, which do 4 damage as opposed to the shield's 8, which I believe is a strat in Buster only. I'm not positive on that, but it's generally faster to just take that damage when you can and move right along. So there's a pattern to... Ooh, Robo drops into the pit there. There is a pattern to those jumps. So if you were jumping over a short pit, you shoot 1 magnet. If you were jumping over a long pit, you shoot 2 magnets. And if you do that, you kill all of the things that you need to kill, and they don't get in your way. Falling into a pit a second time. That's going to be a continue. which actually puts Mushroom Boy ahead by a not insignificant margin. Looks like we got a little bit of lag shenanigans over on Robo's side, but Mushroom will be headed into Heat Man. Finishing out that fight, not too difficult. There is a thing in Heat Man, so if you hit the edge of his hitbox with topspin, you can actually hit it once and then again as it expands into like the actual him, so you can actually get hit twice in a fairly short period if you are in the right place. It's fairly difficult to identify though. So RoboRidley doing round 3 for these jumps, still sliding aggressively through these platforms, which not sure I agree with that decision, but makes it through. Drops in that room can be very deadly because the drops pause you for 2 frames and they can throw your rhythm off very easily. Mushroom Boy getting bonked a few times by that rocket. That's a little bit unfortunate, as Robo will not have too much trouble with Doc Heat. Mushroom Boy is sliding right into Airman's room. Tries to get off a cheeky shot early on there, does not work out for him, but it's a very difficult shot to make. He gets through the boss okay, a little bit low on health for the room coming up, but opts not to use an E-Tank. As Robo goes through Needle. Oh, also has trouble with that missile. Just pro-level missile plays here. I don't know about this. Okay, he's fine, and picks up a big health too, so clearly Mushroom Boy knows what he is doing, and just moving right along through this stage. RoboRidley also low on health and also opting not to take an E-Tank. You're making me nervous, guy. Mushroom Boy headed into Crashman stage. Again, pretty straightforward if you are using your buttons to manipulate his movements. And Mushroom Boy will be moving on to the final Doc stage, Doc Spark. There we go. Robo uses an E-Tank, does not die to Mets. Okay, yeah. We're fine. Everything's fine. Robo moving that room quite cleanly as Mushroom gets through the spark things. It is the worst feeling in the world when one of those gets its spark attack off. Not because the attack is actually bad, it's just like an A-direction thing, but the lag is horrendous for that attack. It is just awful. So glad we don't have to see that to this run, as Robo moves into Crash Man. Yeah, there we go. Does that just fine as Mushroom is in Metal. Excellent spacing on that fight, well done. Again, Mushroom not despawning those jump ropes. I don't know if that's actually faster. I think it might depend on how well you do the despawns. Like, you can do them pretty quick. Oh, and there's that attack I was talking about. The, yeah, those sparks, they are no bueno. Mushroom going into possibly the most dangerous boss in the game. Quickman. Takes a early hit body and has 2 shots on screen, so takes a death. Not unexpected. That is a very difficult boss, particularly on low health. RoboRidley going through Metal Man. Yeah, I think it's Metal Man. Cut Man is Mega Man 1, right? I have that right? There are 158 of you. Somebody has to know what the name of that robot is. Robo doing the despawns here. And Mushroom will be taking care of Breakman quick. Yes, it is Metal. I appreciate you. It just means that I, seem less dumb. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Mushroom is going to be moving on to the Wily stages as Robo struggles a little bit with the Bolt guys. And Robo will be going into Crash. Let's see how this goes. Not Crash, Quickman. Ooh, that's rough. Thank you. Robo looking like he is a little bit frazzled on that fight, but gets through it. As Mushroom cleans up Wily 1, and we'll move on into the Turtles. Nice movement from Robo on that jump. Ooh, Mushroom missing that turtle a little bit, but he's getting the quick turtles, so that one's slow. The pattern, the directions that the turtles will go are always the same, so that the machine will always release. Is it? Yeah, it's. Well, no, I've forgotten the pattern. I have it written down. I don't know where I've written it down. It's always the same. So I think it's left, right, right, left, right. So they always go those directions. The only question is, are you going to get fast turtles or are you going to get slow turtles? Mushroom Boy setting up for Yellow Devil. We will see if he gets the quick kill this time around. I personally have never accomplished the quick kill, so not terribly surprising when it doesn't happen. But, I am interested in his setup here. It looks like he does things the other direction than what I would expect. Does not quite make it. Looked like he wanted to use an E-Tank there and didn't quite get the input, so spends a little menu time. That's pretty normal. RoboRidley finishing up the turtles, as Mushroom Boy will take his second round for Yellow Devil, finishes that up, as Robo starts that very stage. This room is a little bit difficult, the room Mushroom Boy is in. The lag there is genuinely awful, so the fast way of doing things is to jump through 2 of those 3 bullets. If you fail and you hit one of those, you get stuck in that room for a very long time, and it's very slow because there's so much lag. Mushroom Boy just opting to take a couple of damage boosts here, which, I mean, makes sense. There's not a lot of stuff you need health for in this level at this point. The only things in this level are spikes and the boss you generally want to kill in one hit, so you don't need that health bar, but generally runners will take a pause there and only hit one of them, but he gets the quick kill on clones as RoboRidley sets up for not quite the quick kill. It looks like he will get a 2-cycle on this one, though. And that is that, as Mushroom Boy gets through the junk golems and makes his way over to the refights. See Robo there despawning the light guy. That removes a little bit of lag. It can be a difficult one to do because their despawn and their respawn are pretty close together, so you have to know right where to turn around in order to get it done. Mushroom Boy making his way through the refights. Looks like doesn't quite get the unpause there. As Robo gets the quick kill on the clones, so he will be starting his refight soon. TM. It looks like Mushroom just damage boosting his way through Gemini, which is a reasonable strat. It's kind of a lot of jumping around to deal with otherwise. A clean needle fight. That jump is absolutely evil. I hate it. Jump into Magnet Stage. I don't know why it is the hardest jump possibly in the game. Looks like Robo's struggling a little bit with Snake here. Gets it done though, as Mushroom is finishing up Spark. Clean top man fight. Oh no, he gets the pause. That was really good besides that. Luckily that is not a soft lock situation. It is, I mean, it is kind of a lock, but it's not like an end your game situation. Mushroom gets the quick kill on Wily Machine, as Robo has 4 bosses left. Oh, misses the laser there. And Mushroom will be finishing up with Gemini here. Ooh, misses a laser, but takes care of them anyways. And this last jump will... Oh, nope, just kidding. This last jump will take... Nope. Just kidding. There we go. Got him in his face. And Robo just finishing up the Robos now, so he will be very shortly done with this as well. Ooh, doesn't quite make the quick kill there, so switches to Shadow Blade to finish up there. And Ridley will be finishing up Gamma here. And that is GG's for Robo. Let's see if we can get the runners in here. I don't know how that works, just a second. I didn't click done. Hold on.
Hello?
Hey, GG's.
Thank you.
So that was quite a set of runs from you. How do you feel?
Oh my goodness. I PB'd. my first race. Goodness.
Yeah, were you watching the stream at all?
So, I do have it on an iPad off to the side. I didn't have the audio on or anything. I just looked over every now and then just to see kind of where we were in comparison to each other.
Okay, so you were keeping track that second run.
Both runs.
Yeah. The second run was very, very close for a very long time.
Yeah, I know. I kept looking. I was like, oh no. I looked at one point. I was like, oh, he like game overed in Doc Shadow or something because he's way back at the beginning and he was ahead of me. And oh man, that's gotta stink.
Yeah.
It always feels so bad when you game over, and this game is so difficult. I'm surprised I didn't game over like in the races because I do that a lot.
Yeah, same. It's a very punishing game. So, what stuck out for you for the runs?
Well, let me see. On that last one, I did get a gold split on Doc Shadow, actually. So, that was pretty cool. I know that my spark, that one jump that I failed, all I had to do was slide, and I jumped instead, and it sent me back so much. It was like half a minute.
Yep, I think that was one of the swaps too. I think you were ahead until that point, and then you were behind, and then you were ahead again. And yeah,
Dude. Apparently, like, Magnet and Hard, I saw in the chat, people were saying, like, oh man, they're like neck and neck, and the door transitions. I couldn't see that,
Yeah.
obviously, but I saw it in the chat.
yeah. There was one point where you actually transitioned into a boss room at the same time, like it was frames apart.
Oh my gosh. That's always so cool watching these races. Is when runners do that. Or when they high five if you're watching like Super Metroid or something. That's fun too.
Yeah.
Not the topic at hand, but don't worry about that.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say?
Huge thanks and shout out to all the SpeedGaming volunteers because they're not getting paid for this and they're doing so much work behind the scenes to make all of this happen. And also huge shout out to Mellow Flows because pretty sure he organized all of this and this is an amazing tournament. It's my first tournament, so I'm super happy to be a part of this. It's all Mellow's fault, so blame him for my terrible gameplay. Yeah, that's about all I got. I'm just doing your job for you now.
Oh yeah, absolutely are.
And thank you for commentating. I didn't get to hear any of it, but I'll probably go and rewatch it, and I'm sure you did an amazing job.
Oh, I appreciate that. How long have you been running the game, out of curiosity?
Mega Man 3 I've only been running for about a year, maybe 2 years now. But Mega Man 1 and 2 I've been running for about 6 years. 3 was an interesting step up.
Yeah, that's a different change. Moving from the walking megas to the sliding.
Yeah, I know. Mello commented, I think it was Doc Gemini in the first race. Mello commented, he was like, man, Mushroom's going aggressive on some of those slides. I was going like right up next to the edge before jumping off again.
Yeah, it paid off though.
I just died.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know how to finish one of these things off. So
that's okay. No one knows.
It was fantastic to watch. I really appreciate you signing up for this. And yeah, we'll see how you do in the next round, huh?
Yeah, I know. Madhu, oh my gosh. It will be an honor to lose to him.
Yeah, I feel that way about most of my opponents in this tournament.
Not that I would have felt ashamed at all by losing to Ridley. Ridley would have been an amazing opponent to lose to as well.
Yeah, a lot of very clean movement on Ridley's burn. All right, I appreciate everyone stopping by, and I think we will call it there. Thanks.